Welcome to Cast-Designer. Cast-Designer is an upfront design and analysis system for casting process. This presentation is special focus on gravity casting field, such as sand casting and permanent mold gravity casting. So far, Cast-Designer is the sole product in the market today to combine expert system and CAE technology together, and special design for mold planning and casting industrial. Cast-Designer is developed and marketed by C3P Software International Company. Cast-Designer is a useful and powerful system to support designers and engineers make system design and upfront analysis in an express way. Cast-Designer had a package special designed for gravity casting, such as sand casting, permanent mold casting, tilt casting and investment casting. The major advantages and features of Cast-Designer includes, at first, guided by expert system, Cast-Designer can make casting design in 10 minutes to half hour. The second, Cast-Designer, using last finite element method, it can make upfront analysis for metal filling and solidification. The lead time is only 1 hour to 2 hours for almost cases, includes modeling and simulation. There are two versions of Cast-Designer are available. The standalone software system, based on Open Cascade technology, and another one is fully integrated to the common MCAD system, such as Pro Engineer, Unigraphics NX and SolidWorks. C3P Software developed Cast-Designer, and with very close collaboration with world top-level industrial partners, research institutes, and universities. Today, in the real business environment, cost, lead time and quality are the major concern. Control the design stage is the best way to save time and cost, as well as enhance product quality. This is also the start point of Cast-Designer. As we know, 5% design lead time can solve at least 80% quality problem in the future, and bring back the biggest benefits to industrial. We can serve the product designer to improve the original design at very early stage. We also serve the die design engineer to help them select the best solution for manufacturing, such as define the casting solution, design the casting system and optimize it, validate the casting system in simple and express way. Moreover, our solution also provide a more deep and detailed study of the whole casting process for CAE specialists. With Cast-Designer, it is possible to optimize a casting design by detecting the part features with potential metal flow and solidification problems, evaluating riser and chill, gate system, and pouring system design alternatives in the early design stage. Even a novel with limited experience in simulation, who can easier to undertake the design setup in very short period of time. In other words, Cast-Designer for gravity can help the industry to achieve the target of time to market. Let's start from the gating system design, or casting system design. It is well known, the casting system is so important for casting mold and casting production, that any designer should pay a lots of time and work on it. However, due to the development speed of new product is so fast, in today's modern industrial, time to market is always the major issue, whatever product development or mold development. Always, when we get a new casting part, we will ask ourselves, how I can design the best casting system, how fast I can check the detail, and select the best solution. This is the service field of Cast-Designer. Cast-Designer is an efficient 3D CAD tools, with expert system, special designed for gravity casting process. It is an expert system, for casting system design, to help designers and engineers, make a quick design. The designer application, includes riser and feeder, gadding system, chill and cooling system. The design approach of Cast-Designer, is much faster and easily, when compared with traditional CAD system, and the design of Cast-Designer, is fully parametric. Cast-Designer with standard, and special data exchanger, for 3D CAD system, MCAD system. Also, Cast-Designer is easy to learn, it can improve, and enhance the designability and shortly. This is the work process of Cast-Designer for gravity casting. At first, when we get an original casting part, we can make a part analysis, to understand the thickness distribution, and thermal modulus, also check the possible liquid spots, in the casting process. After that, based on the above analysis result, we will design the riser, and feeder, with the support of, the expert system, for an optimized design. Then, another simulation with part, and riser only, will be performed, to check the feeding distance, and if the liquid spot, could be compensated well, in the solidification process. Now, we will design the gadding system. With Cast-Designer's expert system, we can simply get the optimized filling time, and inner gate section area, then we define the section ratio of, the sprue runner, and inner gate, also define the detail section shape, and dimension, one by one. The pouring system, also set a standard part in the system, in full parametric. Finally, a simulation with full casting system, should be carried out to validate both filling process, and solidification process. If there are any problems, of the result, the design could be corrected, in any design phase or stage. This presentation shows the riser and feeder design. The built-in wizards, or calculators, to guide the user swiftly towards the optimized design of a feeding and gadding system, such data, with half-century experience, and validated by industrial. The main riser design rules includes the first one, time condition. It is mainly affect the solidification time and process. The second one, volume condition. It is used to predict the delivered volume of opened or blind riser or isothermal sleeve. The third, distance condition. It is affect the feeding distance. Also, all components of the casting system was designed by parametric, so it is easy to modify and use back in the later. Now, we look for the design process of gadding system. As said before, Cast-Designer is an expert system, with KBE technology. It summarized half-century knowledge and experience of casting process, and provided complete guideline, to help designer. The gadding system advisor, is one of the most useful wizards in Cast-Designer. With such advisor, the designer can get the filling time, and inner gate section area, based on the casting weight, or volume, and feature thickness of casting part. Then the user can adjust the numbers, and section area of gate runner and sprue runner. The design method of inner gate runner and runner is similar. Usually, the length of runner is much longer than gate runner, so Cast-Designer can pick up the predefined curve in an MCAD system directly, and edit it free. This is very useful for complex trace. Also, the runner tree could be generated by system directly, after the design. During the runner design, the section's number could be assigned by user, or automatically, as the complex ratio of runner, the section, segment and runner concept was introduced in Cast-Designer. For a longer runner, one runner could combine many segments, and one segment included many sections. On this concept, multi-gate runners could be connected automatically, based on the geometry. The pouring system is also very important in gravity casting. Cast-Designer can support various type pouring system. With full parametric, the user only needs input the dimension, and get it immediately. Multi-pouring system is also supported by Cast-Designer. This is very useful for complex casting design. Why we talk about Cast-Designer CPI? The question and industry background is there. Cast-Designer help create a CADing system within half hour that is really good. However, the experience and knowledge always face some limitation for new material and process. In this case, who can evaluate my design? Who can tell me which one is the best solution? Physical test is one of the traditional method, even if it wastes time and cost, also difficult for some cases. On the other hand, since 10 years ago, some companies began to use the CAE tools to predict the problems and defects of the casting process. Of course, such method is more advanced, however, it still cannot solve the headache of industrial. The traditional CAE simulation software need a good education background and long-term for self-learning and trial. Also, the project lead time from simulation is longer. Very often, the simulation was done by one CAE specialist, but who do not understand well of design, and the designer cannot receive the answer of simulation immediately to update the design on time. It is far from to the time-to-market business in today. Cast-Designer CPI was developed and marketed by this background. CPI meaning is Casting Process Insight. Cast-Designer CPI is a powerful tool, integrated in Cast-Designer system, based on the last CAE technology. It can analyze the metal flow, heat transfer, and phase change in casting process, provide an express, flexible and accurate method for casting system validation. With Cast-Designer CPI, the user is easy to select the right solution. When compared with other traditional CAE method, Cast-Designer CPI, based on upfront analysis, and use innovation technology to ensure the result. So far, CPI is the sole really practical method on the marketing today to support casting design, because the high-end technology to reduce modeling time and simulation time to a very reasonable time frame. For example, 2 hours for the first result. We provide very detailed result for the metal filling process, such as metal flow, air entrapment, velocity, vector and pressure. We also provide a detailed result for solidification process, included temperature distribution, cooling rate, liquid or solid fraction, and shrinkage porosity. Cast-Designer CPI can start from CAD or STL mesh file format. It can repair and heal geometry if it is not perfect. The user of Cast-Designer was not asked a CAE knowledge. The learning curve of Cast-Designer is also short. This is an example of Cast-Designer CPI for filling simulation. There are 3 design solutions. The first one is a bottom filling system, and the second one and third one is side filling system, but the second one with 1 runner, and the third one with 2 runners. The red color show the hot liquid metal, and blue color is the air, which still not be filled. All the metal flow, air entrapment, velocity, vector and pressure could be provided by Cast-Designer after the simulation. We do not pay too much time to compare the result, since we do not know well of the background of the project. We only look the model size and CPU time. The first one with around 35,000 elements, and the CPU time is around 50 minutes for filling process simulation, and the second model is 52,000 elements in 45 minutes. The last one is 48,000 elements in 43 minutes. so all of them are 1-hour work. This is the solidification result, includes temperature distribution, liquid fraction or solid fraction. With this result, we can predict the casting problems and defects easily. The simulation time is very short, all the solutions are less than 20 minutes. This is the shrinkage porosity result. After the solidification, from the result, we can have a clear idea, the last design solution, or the third one with best shrinkage, also good yield ratio, so this is the best design. So, this example brings us a very good image of the capability, application, and benefits of Cast-Designer CPI. Now, we make a comparison of Cast-Designer CPI with Traditional CAE system. General speaking, Cast-Designer CPI is fast and simple than Traditional CAE software, but the simulation result is the similar level. At first, we look the start point of the system. Traditional CAE system need a perfect CAD geometry with completed riser, gadding system, cooling system and mold. And Cast-Designer can start from casting part only. Second, the modeling time. For Traditional CAE system, the modeling time is quite longer. Special for CAD clean and meshing, they are very headache job. However, for Cast-Designer, it is only a few minutes for any model whatever the geometry is clean or not. Then, we look the simulation time. Traditional CAE need a longer time, from several hours to days. This is a big challenge for them to face today's business model. Luckily, if you use Cast-Designer to solve that, it is only 2 hours to 3 hours for almost cases. The last one, also maybe almost person will ask, is the accuracy. Since we are using the last CAE technologies in Cast-Designer, based on FEM technology, the result of Cast-Designer is the similar level of Traditional CAE method, even better. The workflow chart of Cast-Designer CPI is quite simple. The start point is CAD data. Cast-Designer CPI start from 3D casting, which may come from different CAD systems, such as CATIA, Unigraphics, Pro Engineer, SolidWorks, AutoCAD or others. The standard CAD import and export formats include STEP, IGES, DXF and STL. We also have several extra converters to support natural file format of CATIA, Unigraphics, Pro Engineer and SolidWorks data directly, but the addition license fee is required. Cast-Designer also supports many CAE mesh formats, such as STL, UNV, ANSYS, Nastran and more. Sometimes, if the CAD data come from third parties, and with problem of quality, the build-in open Cascade kernel, with full 3D CAD capability, and powerful functions to clean, healing and process CAD data. As we discussed before, Cast-Designer can be used for the 3D casting system design. For a fast design speed and better design quality. This is a major advantage of Cast-Designer. Meshing is a critical issue for any finite elements analysis software, special for casting simulation. Cast-Designer spent more than 10 years to solve this problem, and now the operation is so simple, and result is very reliable. Today, the meshing of Cast-Designer is fully automatically, no any CAE knowledge is required of user. The size of meshing could be controlled in different direction. Moreover, Cast-Designer supports multi-domains. This is a breakthrough technology in meshing process. With this technology, CAD model need not Boolean operation or assembly operation before meshing. This can save a lots of time for designer. There is also special treatment technology for the defects of CAD model or mesh, such as geometry gap, overlay, intersection or enclose. The coarse mesh technology in Cast-Designer is also unique to treat the thin thickness region to avoid huge model or feature lose, and advanced mesh smoothing technology make the meshing match original CAD and geometry. It is very useful for complex shape like casting part. Cast-Designer using template and objective concept for CPI setup. This make the setup very simple and easily to make part exchange for an existed CPI model. At first, the user needs select the casting process, such as gravity casting, tilt casting or investment casting. The template for each casting process was defined inside software. Then, the user asked to define the analysis type. It meaning is filling simulation only, or solidification simulation only, or a couple analysis for filling and solidification. After that, the user can follow the sequence of up to down, left to right, to define the material data, heat transfer condition, and casting speed or pressure. Finally, the parameters to control the simulation and save result. After that, the CPI model is completed. Cast-Designer with a rich material database. The user can select material from database directly. Also, it is possible to generate the own database and manage it. All defined process conditions and parameters could be saved as user template file and used back at any time. The simulation engine of Cast-Designer, the solver in another word, is very powerful. Based on finite element method, Cast-Designer can perform simulation in fast speed, flexible define and high accuracy. The job submitting interface also supports batch simulation mode to manage multitasks. The post-process of Cast-Designer is very powerful and user-friendly. Our development is based on ParaView platform, so Cast-Designer can handle very big model, and also use the plug-in filter technology in post-process. Same as almost post-process, Cast-Designer can provide rich analysis results in various formats, such as contour, deformation, vector and curves. We also support animation and VRML export for data exchange. Now, we make a summarization of the whole workflow of Cast-Designer. With Cast-Designer, the user is possible to work from CAD data to casting system to CPI model for simulation. Thanks the powerful Cast-Designer solver, until get the first result, the total lead time of Cast-Designer could be controlled within around 2 hours. This is really breakthrough technology, and big benefits to industrials, to save the time and cost, at very early stage. We pay a little more attention on the meshing process, since it is always a critical issue and argument between FEM technology and FDM or FVM technology. Cast-Designer is using FEM technology. It is more advanced compared with traditional FDM or FVM method, because the good geometry description, better formula, full couple simulation, and flexible memory management, all above are very important for casting. The displayed example is a Cast-Designer mesh with only 22,740 elements, but still good enough for geometry description. the same part also meshed in the finite different mesh method. This method is quite simple in calculation, but it is not flexible for the complex geometry, and easy to cause energy loss in the curve edge. For example, in this case, the mesh with 378,535 elements, it is around 20 times than the CPI mesh, but the geometry description was similar, even a little bad. In other words, it need much more CPU time for the simulation. Cast-Designer with many unique and advanced features for meshing process, such as the coarse mesh technology, layer mesh, and advanced mesh smoothing technology. This is extremely better for accurate infilling pattern and pouring time. Advanced mesh smoothing is a unique feature of Cast-Designer to achieve an accuracy geometry, also keep a good element quality. Since almost operations of meshing were done by software system, the meshing time could be reduced to a few minutes, and the manual operation could be saved to minimum. This is a comparison between Cast-Designer and Traditional CAD system, plus CAE software, which done by our customer. The major benefits of Cast-Designer is, we can save a lots of time on the design, modeling and simulation. We can make 3 to 4 design routes in one working day, but the traditional method need at least 5 days. We have designed and validated more than hundreds casting model in Cast-Designer. The parts covered automotive industrial, machinery industrial, heavy industrial, consumer and communication industrial, wide electronic application industrial and 3C product industrial. We got very positive feedback from the customer and such results. This is an example of the simulation result of the machining part. The result included the filling process and solidification process. The blue color is the liquid spots in the X-ray method. And this is the comparison of the shrinkage pore and porosity of the real part with Cast-Designer's simulation result. The red circle highlighted the region with shrinkage pore on both the actual part and the simulation model. Such problem could be predicted very well, both the value and location. This is an example with complex gating system. There are 3 parts in the same mold. How to design the riser and gate system is the key points. Cast-Designer can design the whole riser and gating system in 35 minutes, and 15 minutes for the full mesh, the model with 323,100 elements, for casting and gating only, and the full simulation take around 5 hours, in a better computer machine. This is an example to compare 2 design solutions of the casting system, the second one with 2 riser, and the first one without. However, the inner gate of the second case was not designed well, so the riser cannot compensate the shrinkage problem. So, the first design, with a higher yield ratio, is still better than the second one, for shrinkage porosity. Both the simulation time is less than half hour. The full Cast-Designer system includes several Modulus, which could be a complete solution, or selected alone as subsystem. The major Modulus includes, the first one is Cast-Designer Basic, which is an expect system, for riser, feeder, chill, gadding system and cooling system design. The second one is Cast-Designer CPI. Cast-Designer CPI is an upfront analysis system for metal flow and solidification analysis to support decision-making of casting system, bases on the last CAE technology and time economic method. The third one is Cast-Designer Tools. Some special tools to support casting system design, such as cast zone and wall thickness analysis. It is optional. There is also another Modulus, Cast-Designer for MCAD, and Cast-Designer CPI for MCAD. This Modulus allow integrate Cast-Designer and Cast-Designer CPI to MCAD system. The support system includes Pro Engineer of PTC, Unigraphics NX of Siemens, and SolidWorks of Dassault system. Regards the MCAD system, Cast-Designer could be built in the existed CAD system, such as Pro Engineer of PTC, Unigraphics NX of Siemens and SolidWorks of Dassault system. With this feature, the user can work in a familiar working environment, to reduce the learning time, for another software system. Also, no data transfer problems. The system will handle all the data exchange, to avoid any data lose. Another function, which only available in the MCAD version is, the data management capability. It helps the user to manage the data version and model version. So, thank your attention of Cast-Designer for gravity casting. Please record our website for more detailed information. You also can contact us, or our authorized worldwide sales network, for more details. It is our pleasure. If Cast-Designer can help you to improve your work, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.